Welcome to Daggers and Shadow Daddies.
We're your hosts, Ryan and Adriana. Close your legs and open your book. Let's get to reading.
Warning, this podcast contains explicit content.
It's about to get nasty.
It's all vibes and no facts.
Let's get to spoiling.
Wait, no, these are spoiler-free episodes.
Not the way I do it. This book is covering a question I had in another book.
And what is that?
Do you remember when we were talking about being able to read somebody's mind, but if they spoke a different language than you?
Oh, yeah, she played that off.
Right. And it was the same sort of conversation that we had.
I think it just depends on it. She explained it away beautifully. It made sense because she is more experiencing what that person's memory is.
It's all through their perception.
Yeah.
Which I was like, it's way better than just the idea that I don't think in English. I don't know. I thought that was cool.
But then at the same time, nobody can question her either. She's like, oh, no, I don't know what you're saying.
She's the only one with that superpower. Who's going to know?
And he even asked if it could be transferred to him?
If it was transmissible, like an STD.
Oh, I didn't take it that way. Yeah. But it was like he wanted to use it.
He didn't know if when he started dreaming, if he would be in her mind now.
Oh, I took it as he wanted to use that power against the people that they interrogate in the future.
I don't think any part of him sees this as not going his way.
I don't know.
I don't think he thinks he needs more power. I think he already knows that he is the ultimate power.
And how does she have skills that he's not even aware of as a god, an old god?
I look at their godship as more of like the Norse setup, where it's not one omniscient, omnipotent god. It's this person presides over this area of expertise.
That sounds right, because he had to watch a bunch of YouTube videos to get all caught up.
And I do like that they're like, he's the king of the gods. And I'm like, wouldn't king of the gods, that's a weird... It seems almost like an unnecessary promotion.
What do you mean unnecessary promotion?
When you think of a king, it's a very mortal position. It's humanizing.
How is there a god above all gods type of thing? Because isn't God just the top dog anyways?
Ruler of the gods. Would make more sense to me. King, for some reason, just seems so... There's one of those of England. Like, who cares? Something like that. Where it seemed just, instead it's like, no, he's, like Charles, but for the gods. You're like, all right, cool. Well, who's the prime minister of the gods? Because that's the guy who actually makes the decisions.
We got to hear a little bit about Azrael, who wrote this book, and it was not the personality that I was expecting for someone who wrote the Book of Azrael.
For the god of death, you wouldn't think, or the angel of death.
Is that who he is?
Yeah. Yeah, that's, Azrael is the angel of death in religious texts.
What I got from his personality when we got to meet him was almost like a book nerd, because he was scrounging around through the library to grab all of his books before he, I guess, betrayed the gods because he cared more about his family.
Yeah, that's kind of what I got from it too, was he was more of a, scribe.
Yeah.
Than anything.
Yeah, not this world ender energy that we're getting from Liam and the stories about Liam, but given the power of finding the Book of Azrael, they don't even know if it exists.
No, they don't necessarily know that it exists, but Liam brings up that Azrael designed his ultimate weapon. So Azrael's kind of like a scientist, I suppose.
Yeah. Do you know what the Book of Azrael is about right now?
Nobody knows.
It's so vague now that we know the Book of Azrael is just Azrael's book.
I assume it's some sort of world-ending information, like a super-duper god-killer nuke. He's got all the notes on the Manhattan Project, and he's ready to hand them off.
Oh, why ever write it? This is wild.
I don't know yet. I think I'm so much less interested in the Book of Azrael as a plot point in this book.
Yeah, what I'm getting from this storyline is it's a road trip between two people that hate each other and they fall in love and they have to go on these little side quests.
It's kind of a buddy cop movie.
Yeah.
Where it's like the one's the loose cannon and the other one's like, come on, I'm the, good cop. I don't know. It's like good cop, bad cop, but they're both kind of bad cops.
One is straight-laced and the other isn't.
He is straight-laced, but he's not... I don't even know how to put it. He's odd. I haven't fallen in love with Liam yet. I think some of it is she's so fucking thirsty for him the whole time. It reminds me so much of Akatar.
It's starting to take over where she is in denial also.
Oh, and it's anytime he is described, it is just, he moved right, so his muscles were bigger.
He leaned forward and his shirt tightened.
Buttons are popping off of this dude, and everybody sees him's like, I don't know if we have clothes that big. I'm like, do fat people not exist in this world? He could wear something baggy. Like, give him a break, man.
Everything is just too tight on this man.
Yeah. I'm like, it's so funny because like, he's so tall. He's a few inches taller than the bouncers. We'll get into it.
There was one of my favorite scenes was when she stopped him from going up the stairs and she couldn't help herself but to grope his chest a little bit.
She squeezed. And I would like to point out that sexual assault. So while we're all giggling, reverse these roles. He stops her and then he squeezes a tit. How do we feel about it, guys?
Have you seen that one video where this girl is walking by this man and he's turned around with his ass towards her? She slaps his ass and he's like, how would you guys feel if the roles were reversed? And she's walking down the hallway again, but this time he's facing her and she slaps him in the nuts.
I love you assume she just got nuts. He could have been dick and balls, okay? It could have been the dangler. She swatted.
But when you said that, it's just him turned around and she's just groping his ass this time.
It was so fucking... That TikTok is the funniest thing I'd seen in so long. And I've seen it redone like 60 times. And they usually swap clothes on him. Does that make sense?
How would you feel if the roles were reversed?
Yeah, and then they like swap clothes and shit. And I'm like, this isn't as funny as the guy that just turned around and he took a real hit to the nuts. Or shaft. Now I'm just going with nuts too. It was so good. But yeah, no, this is a fun book though.
Now that you point out the buddy cop, that is what... No. It's more the prisoner is needed and they're going on this road trip.
It's the Blacklist?
Is that what that is? I've never watched The Blacklist.
I saw the first few episodes. My mom was super into it. And my sister. James Spader. Something about that dude. Okay, all right.
He's come up a few times. Is he the guy that does Ultron's voice?
Yes.
Okay, and we mentioned him many times. Yeah, we mentioned
James Spader a lot. He's our new Henry Cavill.
But for his voice.
Yeah, and I think his general demeanor is, for some reason, captivating.
Yes.
Like, people seem to love it. Yeah, that's the whole thing with that show is he's some sort of, like, mafioso, and they've finally captured him, and then he leads them to other mafioso people.
Yep, that's this vibe.
He's like a captive informant who's sort of only captive because he decides he should be. I don't quite grasp. I didn't see enough of that show, and I'm not sure which season I jumped in at. So, you seem to have a lot of leeway for a guy who was in police custody. I don't know.
Do you have a favorite part of this book so far?
Yeah, the fight scene.
Which one?
The first one. Between she and Liam. Was still my favorite.
Oh, yeah.
When she's like, well, you can't be burned. Noted. And he's like, I can't be anything. He's like, I'm the fucking man. I am God of gods. And she's like, no, you have a weakness. He's like, no, I don't. He just keeps moving through her. But she is so beefy, and I like that we get these little moments where she is also engaging other people in battle, and she beats the fuck out of these other people. She is a badass, but it really shows how crazy badass he is. Because he's just like, no, sweet child.
He's so chill about it, too.
He's bored. That's the thing. He comes off sort of, not indignant, kind of indifferent.
My favorite scene was obviously when she like stops him, puts her hand on his chest and she's groping him. And I think he like puts her hand down, like stop it type of thing. She goes upstairs. She gets herself in trouble with this. And all we know is the door opens and the woman's head is just like boom, boom, boom on the floor.
Yeah, he's not fucking around.
It's just so smooth.
Yeah, he walks in. He's like, oh, that dirty witch bitch. Chops her up. Calls it a day.
And then I think he's scolding her as he's pulling out the needles from her.
Hold on. I think we need to start this at the beginning because otherwise we're just only going to hit the highlights.
I know. Well, I want to talk about my favorite parts.
Talk about your favorite parts.
Chapter 12 is what we ended on. She was tied up and still being interrogated. She passes out. She has a memory of confronting Kaden for hiding info. Then it cuts to her telling Gabby to take this dagger and go to the safe house. There is an earthquake memory, and we now know that was Liam coming back.
It's an earthquake memory.
Earthquake in her memory.
Yes. Sorry, the way you relate. There's an earthquake memory.
This book jumps quite a bit, and if you are not paying attention, it's really hard to follow.
The book jumps in the way that you listen to books. This has to be infuriating. I like to let it keep going and then see if I can make it make sense with the information I get later. And you are the person who's like, this doesn't make sense now. I must have missed something already.
I am that way.
So I can't imagine how long it's taking you to get through this book.
It's really difficult, especially if you're trying to work and listen to this and there's memory jumps. I think that I must have missed something. Then I go back. I'm like, no, that's on purpose because I'm trying to multitask and take notes.
Yeah, it doesn't go well.
But she has her memory of talking to Gabby. Gabby wants Rick to come with her. Says she will never have a normal life because of what Diana did. That was infuriating, to be upset with Diana for the sacrifice that she made and blaming Diana for your lack of living life to the fullest. You were almost to not have a life.
Nearly to not have a life.
Yeah.
Indeed. Some may call it almost dead.
Almost dead. You almost died.
You nearly didn't have a life anymore. Your light was merely extinguished. About this note with Diana, so I maybe can understand Gabby's position a little bit with this. If Gabby wasn't a part of making the decision that Diana did, then it's okay for her to be upset with it. You don't have to be appreciative of every sacrifice somebody makes in your name.
But I don't think Diana has ever held it over her head.
She wouldn't have to. Maybe Gabby's like, I would have rather just lived a natural life rather than all of the things she loves dying around her except her sister.
And even that, her sister isn't even living a happy life. And that part, I really like that Gabby added that. It pains her to see the life that Diana is having at the expense of her living.
Eternal misery. You know, as far as she can see, it's crazy. It's servitude.
But it seems like it benefited Diana later, having this conversation, even though it was a knife to the heart, painful, cruel even.
I think in every relationship, you kind of have these moments where you have to have conversations that really suck. And I like that they went through the effort of having that, rather than it being like a Nesta and Feyre situation, where so much goes unsaid for so long in the book. You're like, motherfucker, just talk. And
it does seem like Diana is the one that doesn't want to have this conversation because they try earlier and Gabby keeps trying to rehash this and Diana's like, it always ends the same. And this time it seemed like Gabby's like, it will not end the same because I'm just going to come out and just say it.
Yeah, I like it. We get to skip the whole miscommunication or lack of communication trope.
But her wanting to bring Rick with her and convert him.
Yeah. Listen, it's a little wild.
This dick must be good.
It's, well, not good enough that she can ignore Liam when he shows up, to be fair.
And I'm going to address this too. The fact that Gabby isn't crushing on or has feelings for Liam later, shocking.
She doesn't know Liam.
He saved her life and said some attractive things while he was saving her life.
Note to self, Adri ever meets a fireman in a precarious situation, consider yourself done. Understood.
And Gabby, during this conversation, thinks that Diana is stronger than Kaden.
Yeah, I think that is kind of what we're led to believe even. Diana kind of brings something like that up in the beginning.
Oh, but she may be stronger than Kaden, but she is not strong enough to take out Kaden and all of his allies who would go after Gabby, though.
I don't think she necessarily believes that she's stronger than Kaden. I think other people believe that she's stronger than Kaden.
Yeah.
Because I think Drake also brought it up to her when she went to go kill him.
Who we now know is alive.
Dun, dun, dun. We're going to get there.
I don't know how that happened, but that was what all of this ended on. I think chapter 25 ended on. After that memory, it cuts to the next memory where she kills Henry, the human, became him, goes into this meeting with the Celestials and the humans, and Liam shows up.
And the gods.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. She distracts Liam while Tobias and Alistair search for the book.
Tobias. Every time. Every time. I can't find it, Michael.
Tobias Funke. And he's the one that lives later. I kind of was hoping that Tobias was the one that was killed so I didn't have to keep hearing his name. But
I fucking love that he's there. Alistair is a cool name, but Tobias is a better character.
After these memories send us back to the interrogation, they provide her with clothes. I'm assuming she's burning her clothes off or torching her own clothes.
Her clothes were all tattered and beat to shit from the fight. And they're like, you smell gross, you look gross, put on some clean clothes. And she's like, fuck your clothes. And then she burns up the new clothes.
Yeah, she keeps burning things, but she's also burning the room using her fire. We talked a little bit last time about how do her clothes work as she's shapeshifting.
Magic clothes.
I think that they're just regular clothes that are somehow...
I think she's just Incredible Hulking her way through this world. It's just nips dangling.
I don't know how she's doing it, but her exchanging clothes, I don't know how she even has clothes still on when she torches an entire room.
I believe it's not emanating from her skin. I think it's from her hands. Things like that. So I'll give this one a pass. It's FR gear.
Whatever she did into the room as she was Henry during that meeting, she converts back to herself.
Oh, she does have magic clothes.
She has to.
Because her clothes change when she shapeshifts from Henry to herself. We kind of discussed this. It would be like Bayonetta hair.
You're right, because she was in like a suit as a human Henry, and then all of a sudden she's sexy lady.
Yeah. Yep, unless Henry was wearing a sexy dress. It was a little baggy. She just takes off the jacket. She's like, it was me all along. It's like a Scooby-Doo villain.
The low-cut shirt is just chest hair all the way through, and then all of a sudden she shapeshifts, and men are very confused. They're like, I don't know what I'm into.
Oh, Henry, if you'd have told us, it would have really changed things.
Because, okay, this is way better of explaining that she must have magic clothes, because it was in that scene when she torches Liam and has Liam's fight. There were humans that died in this scene.
Oh, yeah. First of all, Henry.
He died before we got there.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, you're saying when she goes and meets all the Celestials and she's being the arrogant, da-da-da.
Yeah, she torches the room on fire to the point that everyone is engulfed and humans died.
Yeah, I thought they were outside. I thought it was like they were at the Lincoln Memorial or the Washington Monument. You know what I mean?
Wow, you listened way better than me.
No. They're not there. It's a different world, but somewhere like that, where it's this big outdoor rally.
Liam kind of throws in her face that some humans died or are in intensive care because of her.
Yeah, both things happen. And he's like, you fucking suck. And she's like, fuck you. I'm not going to tell you anything. And she puts up with torture so well. Like, they are really getting her. And
I think here soon we have a conversation between Vincent and Liam, and he's like, you were taking it easy on her. Like, that was taking it easy? And he's just like, I don't know. I found it silly.
The wild thing. The thing that I want to bring up that the author is doing so well is not making her just forget how Liam tortured her.
Yes,
the fact
she
that
remembers.
It is brought back up, and she's like, even like when he moves his hands or whatever too close, she's like, I remember what the fuck those hands did to me.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? Good on you. Like, sure, she's conflicted because she's very thirsty. But also, she's like, he also abused me very much.
I feel like this is a much better enemies to lovers, because I feel like they are
actual enemies.
And they're just going to hate fuck. Not even like actually fall in love. It's just hate fucking to start with.
I don't even think they're going to do that. Ideally, in this story, they never fuck. That would be perfect for me.
This ended in a shady hotel.
Yeah, but they're not going to bang in a shady hotel. I think they are going to end up fucking, but I'm going to be disappointed, probably.
What?
Can you imagine somebody fucking tortures you? And then overall,
eventually
Liam's
they're going to
really
bang.
Cool, but and I think that could wait for like the third book. It takes time.
Slow burn. Slow burn for you.
Yeah, I mean, preferably it doesn't burn at all. That would be ideal for me.
Well, getting back into chapter 13, they provide her the clothes after she burns them. Peter shows up to speak to her.
After she burns them, they provide them for her.
They keep bringing her clothes.
Yeah.
Peter shows up to speak to her as Alistair and then Kaden. It took me quite some time to figure out how the hell Peter got here.
Peter's an intercom.
Yeah.
They just push the button and then they're using him like a megaphone.
But I didn't know how he got into this room, but eventually it kind of makes sense as we get to see more Celestials following around as they're transporting her, and Peter is still one of them, to give me a better idea of his role with the hand, because I thought only the hand would have access to her cell.
Yeah, no, the Hand is the Secret Squirrel elite group. There are still law enforcement that is not the Hand.
And then there are celestial guards and other celestial roles working here also. So Peter shows up, they're talking to her, and they tell her, we're not going to save you. But they literally have a guy on the inside talking to her.
I don't necessarily think they were looking to save her. I think they were looking to eliminate her.
Really? They ended up trying to
break her out, but Kaden wasn't there. So I don't think the other two are capable of killing her. She's more powerful than Alistair and Tobias. This is just my guess, again, because what they probably want to know is what did she tell them?
Oh.
And then Kaden would figure out what it is that she had divulged and then kill her.
Oh, so they really didn't want to save her, but she has information or shared information and they want that to stop. Therefore, we need to go get her.
That's my idea with it. Kaden doesn't seem the kind of individual to, oh, don't worry, we'll save my lady. He seems pretty self-absorbed.
Yeah, and Liam kind of calls this out multiple times. I'm very confused. Chapter 14, they move her into a disguised cart, truck, not sure.
I imagine it's kind of like a prisoner transport, one that you would want it to be more secretive.
Yes. Diana calls Logan's wife a beast. And that was really sad. And then I just thought about, I hope they become friends. And we do learn that Gabby becomes friends with
Logan and Logan's wife. This starts with a V or something.
No. Navara?
Okay.
Navera. Not a lot happens in chapter 14. There's aggressive flirting with Logan. I'm picturing almost like an armored car at this point. She's locked up. Logan's right there. And there's Celestials all sitting in there.
And she's like, nice dick, bro. And he's like, leave my dick out of this. And she's like, I'll give you the magic gluck gluck.
No.
Yeah. She is so aggressive with every dude. Again, it's part of the reason why I think if you're Liam, you're uncharmed by it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because he's not charmed by it. He's kind of annoyed.
Yeah, but you would be. It's kind of like that girl that's always looking for attention, and you're just like, cute, now shut the fuck up and get back to what you're doing.
But he is kind of starting to like it and like her attention.
Oh, you think so?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
They're taking her to Silver City, and then the truck is wrecked. Chapter 15, we're with Liam's POV a few hours earlier. He felt something was off with Peter. He didn't know what was going on. He has a talk with his friend Vincent, who said Liam was being too kind to her, and they think of her as a beast. And I ask, Liam thinks of her as a sexy beast? ?
I don't think so. I don't think at this point Liam's remotely tempted.
What?
I think Liam thinks she's a smoke show, but he has fucked everybody. We later learn, again, it's reiterated, that he gets what he wants.
And he doesn't want her right now?
No, I think he's like, oh, she's really fucking terrible. She tried to murder all of these people who I value, and one of his best friends she literally murdered.
All right, fair. But I like to think that his horny brain is going to override all of this.
I don't know, man. She would have to be something pretty special.
There's a long argument with Vincent. There's a long monologue of Logan. And his girl as a relationship goal is what I was getting from Logan and Navara.
Yeah, they seem to be in such a stable relationship. I don't know. I think it sounds so sweet. They just love each other so much.
They love each other so much that it completely shifted Diana's perspective of living life.
I think that's wonderful. She's capable of growth. What I do find weird is that she never, in her several hundred years of existence, has considered all of this before.
She's never seen it or experienced it.
I'm saying in 200 years, you don't think she met anybody that really valued their partner?
I bet she did, but in this situation, during her blood dream, she was actually experiencing that feeling that Logan was experiencing. That she's never had.
Okay.
And here we see Liam is close enough to them to see what they are feeling. Not that he's experienced it, but to see that he's never experienced or thought of anybody the way that Logan views his wife.
And we learn why that is later on.
Why? He's depressed?
No, they're not supposed to have deep emotions. In deep attachments, it makes them weak. That's what his dad was saying.
Oh.
We'll get into that in the later chapters when it happens.
We have such different perspectives of his dad, because I thought his dad did feel that for his wife, and he could never love another.
It was considered a mistake.
Another.
Yeah. Logan brings up later on that by deeply loving somebody, basically, or falling deeply in love with somebody, that it makes you weak. Makes it so that you will eventually experience heartbreak and kind of go through what Liam's going through right now, actually. It makes you vulnerable.
Oh, well, after him reflecting on the relationship goal of Logan and his girl, he thinks about how Imogen has always tried for a relationship with him, but he was never interested.
Yeah.
And we learn later that Imogen is a smoke show.
Yeah, aren't they all?
Yeah.
Everybody floating around here is just super sexy.
And they discuss the weapon called the Oblivion, a blade, death without afterlife.
Which is Azrael's thing. That's what Azrael made.
Oh, but that's not what the Book of Azrael is probably
correct,
about.
But Azrael made that for Liam. That was his, big ta-da.
Yeah, and he has other things.
Huge cock.
Okay.
Oh.
Chapter 16, it goes back to Diana's POV. Tobias fed her many people, and she collects the memories. All of the memories of the people she's eaten. What is she doing?
She's eating their blood, I think. I don't think she's tearing apart leg meat.
She's been force-fed.
Like, bring me a thigh.
She's been force-fed multiple times now.
Yeah, this seems less than force-fed and more like it's brought to her to consume. She's ravenous.
Oh,
right?
I thought
she brings up that she was so starving.
I thought that they keep forcing it down her throat.
Oh.
And that's what was... And then she's passed out from being so fatigued and nearly dying. But because they force-fed her, now she's in the blood dreams.
And that potentially could be. I imagine force-feeding being different, but maybe you're right.
I don't know. I also then have she's awake. Tobias takes the cuffs off of her, and it's an orgasmic feeling from the cuffs being removed.
All of her powers coming back, baby. She's no longer held back, and she comes hard.
She seems like she wants to.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you scared me with that.
Nope.
And Tobias tells her, you almost look pretty again.
Shut up, Tobias. Go paint your face blue.
This is why Tobias needed to die and not Alistair. If we had to pick one or the other.
I think Alistair and Tobias could both have died.
Logan is dying. Did she lick Logan's blood?
Yeah.
It was a weird moment.
Yeah, but that seems to kind of be her go-to move. Before she gets rid of somebody, she's looking for the intel.
Well, she must have, because then I saw and felt his memories of his wife.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I'm being dumb. This is that moment that she feels the love.
To spare him.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, That's this moment. She saw and felt the memories of his wife, and because of that, she took out Alistair.
What happened with Tobias? How did he get out of there?
A blue beam hits Tobias. That's what Logan does in his dying moments.
Yeah.
Tries to take out Tobias. Oh, no, we learn about the blue beam later, I think.
It's like the Bifrost.
Yeah, it is. Where he teleports him just somewhere else, get out of here type of thing. Chapter 17, Diana's POV again. She brought Logan to Liam, and she impressed Liam.
She shows up in the room. She walks in there having a big courtly meal or something. She busts through the door. Liam's all haggard and beat to shit. She's carrying him in. Nevaeh? What's the wife's name again?
I keep spelling it like Navarra.
Okay, I'm going to call it Nevera.
Nevera, there we go.
Okay, because that sounds close. So Nevera is like, my baby, what'd you do to my boy? And Liam's like, put him the fuck down. And she's like, I fucking saved him. And she walks in so fucking cocky every time. She's like, I have a plan. She doesn't really have plans. And they fail. I think she's one of... Well, kind of. This one, not so much. The other plan, yeah. Remember, that's how she ended up being tortured in that room all that time. She's like, I'm going to kill you. She had no plan other than I'm just going to kill him. It's a wild play.
I guess. I mean, she's working with what she has. There wasn't much to work with.
I feel like you take your time and develop a strategy more so than I'm going to show up looking like that guy and then I'm going to look like me and then I'm going to burn him. This can't be your only game plan.
I think she thinks of herself as a badass, as she should, but was unprepared for how a fight with a god would go.
Not just a god, the god. The god of gods.
The god of gods. The
God
world
of
ender.
Yeah, well, and this is the thing. She's like, your reputation precedes you. I'm like, if he has that reputation, your boss is afraid of him. That's why he's not showing up. maybe you could also, exercise some caution.
Oh, you took it as Kaden is scared of Liam, and that's why he didn't show up.
Yeah, I think Kaden is scared of Liam. I think Kaden is probably a survivor from Liam's old world because remember, he brings up that they eliminated the Igmorthans. But something about Kaden seems like Kaden would have been the last of the Mohicans, so to speak. He was banished to this world or came to this world in secret, rebuilt up his numbers so that they could try to do it again. Overthrow the gods.
What do you think of Kaden?
I think Caden's super beefy, but Kaden seems to be the best strategist of the bunch.
Really?
Yeah, because first of all, we don't know his plans. We know what he's looking for. He's not doing all the dirty work himself, and he seems to kind of be measuring things, right? Like, in order for them to have all those Celestials under Alistair's control, this didn't happen overnight. He's been planning this and infiltrating their group for a long time, making sure that anybody that has the slightest problem with him is at least too terrified to actually do something against him within his little group. Is a good move strategically, clearly, right? The witch lady, everybody was on his side. That's why the world ender, Liam, had to kill those people for her.
That's a really good perspective because I saw him as irrational, spontaneous. I don't know how to describe it. Like if you upset him, he's rash.
He comes off very calm though, remember? To everybody else. Like when he was really pissed at the vampires. She's the only one that knew that they were going to fuck up the people that did show up when the vampires didn't show up. Everybody else was like, oh, it's not a problem. Blah, blah, blah. And then he very calmly was like, okay, well, go ahead and get in the pit.
Well, yeah, I think when I compare him to Liam, Liam is like, well, I still need information, so I'm going to make your life hell until I get what I need. As Kaden seems like, your life is over.
I don't think he saw it as he needed their information. He needed their fealty. And in order to do that, the best way is to show absolutely no mercy to that group.
Yes,
I'm not saying he did it successfully, but as far as planning goes, he seems to be pretty good at it. When Diana kills Zeke, not Zeke, what's his name? No, not Aziraphale. Jebediah. Ezekiel, yeah, Zeke. Nice, we'll run it.
But she didn't kill him, he killed himself.
Okay, when she goes and does battle with him and nearly gets killed, Kaden shows up, sticks his arm through the guy's chest, and then he's pissed at Diana. He's like, bitch, we were supposed to do this according to a plan, and not you just busting in thinking you can just flame your way through everything. I don't know. I think he's going to be a very compelling villain. And while I don't like him, as a character, I got to respect it, because he's given some mystery.
Yes, and that mystery is all his plan because he didn't tell Diana things.
This is it. He's not overly divulging information. He seems to be pretty fucking good at what he's doing. Now, our boy Liam also seems very good at what he's doing, but he has a similar strategy to Diana, I should say, where they just kind of walk into shit and they're like, go ahead and try it. So far, it's worked out well for him because he's the most powerful being ever.
Well, I was going to say, I think they both go into it with that attitude because they feel invincible. No matter what situation they walk into, they have...
But this is the third time so far in this book that she could have been defeated, right?
Yeah. I think she has a different form of depression compared to Liam. Like, she's there to risk her life all the time because she doesn't care if she's going to die. Liam has zero feelings and just wants to crawl in a hole.
I think Liam wishes for death and she doesn't believe it can come to her. Isn't the difference? Because she's like, I don't care what happens to me. I'm going to save my sister. But she does put a lot of conditions on what she's willing to do and not do. Versus he's like, no, this is what I said. And it's what I'm going to do. And it's going to be fine because I'm me. Good luck.
Because I am me.
Yeah, I really like him. Honestly. He's not, you don't get any sense of overcoming an obstacle with Liam yet. So I'm waiting to see what his kryptonite is, so to speak.
Sounds like depression.
But it's not really a kryptonite. You're not defeating him with depression.
Oh,
he still comes through and fucking does anything he wants. He needs a literal weakness, an actual hurdle for him.
I'm assuming it's going to be Diana. He's going to fall in love with her, and she is his weakness.
Yeah, I think I need something more than that.
Really? I don't know. I bet you're going to be disappointed.
So if he's in a fight, she's not just a token. Like, I understand the whole idea of, how do we get to Peter Parker? We kidnap Aunt May, and that's fine. But also, you could just have somebody that can beat the fuck out of Peter Parker sometimes, and that's satisfying.
I don't know if I'm following.
In order for Liam to get growth as a character, to remain interesting.
God. What? He's supposed to grow more? He's thousands and he's like many millennia old.
Yeah, so he needs something to overcome.
His depression.
Yeah, okay. Here's the thing. They're not defeating him and he's incredibly depressed now. And if he gets very attached to Diana and then they kidnap Diana, it's not him overcoming something to just get Diana back. I need to see him be like, hey, he's done something to change or he's had to strategize in some way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because he does have this, no matter where I show up, things are just going to go my way because I am he.
He's all powerful. Yeah, which is a lot. It's really cool, and I don't mean to be bitching about this so much. I'm just nervous. I've got a little PTSD from the last books.
Oh, I think that's the fantasy romance.
Oh, man. Is this romance?
Yes.
Oh, I thought it was just fantasy horny. Maybe everybody just fucks everybody.
I don't know. I guess I could look it up. I thought it was fantasy romance.
You know what I want? I want a different story. I want the story of Logan and Nevra. That's the book I actually want. Where if you're going to give me romance, give me something that's real.
That's going to be book 5.
Is it? Are there going to be 5 books in this? Wow.
Book 5 comes out in August.
Holy shit, there are 4 currently?
Yes.
So we could wait until the 3rd book for them to fuck.
That is such a slow burn. No, they're fucking next chapter in a shady motel. And it's a hate fuck. It's not like a love fuck. By book 2, we're going to have...
They both get bed bugs.
Stop it. Oh, no.
Yeah, that's what I want. Overcome those. Nasties.
Gross. Ryan.
Okay, we need to keep moving. I'm so sorry. I'm just beating up on this book, and I don't mean to because I am enjoying this a lot.
We're in chapter 17. So she brought Logan to Liam in this hall. I have the note of questioning. Did she lick Logan again? I don't know. Something happened there. I think she was doing it to taunt them of like a power move of licking his face or his blood or...
Yeah, to show that if she wanted to, she could kill him right
Exactly.
now. Yeah.
Exactly. I'm like, well, you're just gross. That's disgusting.
Yeah.
She uses Logan to negotiate for his sister's safety. And I have the quote, "I am yours after I help you if you protect my sister." And I'm just kind of cracking up over this scene. I'm like, oh, he's going to protect your sister. And now you are his.
You're his anyway. You're literally his captive.
Liam cut his hand, silver blood, and they shook on it. And he has thick, calloused hands.
Mm-hmm. He's been living in the forest for 1,000 years.
Okay, later she brings up his hands again and that they're calloused. For some reason, she's holding his hands later.
It's working man hands. That's what they're trying to point out.
She says that it's because of, like, years of war and all of this.
Calluses don't last that long. Your skin refreshes so much faster.
I think it's because he was making tables and chairs in his house.
He did it with magic. I don't think he did it with... I don't think he was whittling a table either, I might add.
I assume that he was if he has calloused hands.
Here's the thing. I won't pretend to assign too much logic to this because we see that he was making friends with the forest creatures. Do you have any idea the amount of protein it would take to sustain a man that size?
Oh my God, you're going into...
Like his hunting practices. I don't know how he did it ethically if he just got the old ones that were like diseased. I don't know how he did it.
But I'm assuming he has these perfectly calloused hands because too calloused, and you don't want that anywhere downstairs.
As somebody who is required to lotion his hands very regularly because calloused hands are rough.
Like, I'm following why we're saying this man has large calloused hands.
Right.
This is good. This is great. But like, too many mentions of these calloused hands. I was like, oh, do we want him touching? I don't know.
This is kind of a thing. It took me out for a second, too, because I'm so used to you. You will take a moment when I'm just rubbing your neck or anything. You'll just be like, oh, you know where the lotion is?
Do you have sandpaper?
I'm like, So when I kept hearing at large calloused hands, I'm like, this guy doesn't know. He's going to have to fix that because he's going to get some shit. He's going to scratch a nip or something.
No, it's the right kind of calloused hands of where his fingers are just fine, but it's on his palm.
Only his palms are calloused?
His palms.
What the fuck is he doing where only his palms get calloused?
Woodworking. He made tables and chairs, and one day...
Your fingertips get it. That's basically what I do.
No, not this man.
Oh, okay, not the way he does it.
Not the way he does it.
He's wearing the other half of fingerless gloves. Just the fingers on the gloves.
Calloused enough that you know he's a hard-working man. He's got years on him.
1,000, at least. A few thousand.
But anyways, thick calloused hands. She sees all of his memories, ripped muscle, dead. I gotta look at my note real quick.
I think you were daydreaming a little as you were doing this. Notice how many of these notes are just about how he has muscles. There's you,
Because
Diana.
it cracks me up. What are you?
Hilarious. He's huge pecs, grope.
I find it really funny because I'll be working, listening to the book, and I'm getting into the story. You have a bloodied man. She's power. She's badass. She makes a deal. And in this moment, all of a sudden, it's just like his ripped chest, his ripped arms, his shirt stretching across. And it just makes me laugh, and why I love romantasy.
Honestly, it's really funny because they do take the time to describe both the male and female characters as sexy. But mostly him.
Mostly him. She describes herself as a baddie, and he describes her in a respectful way as a baddie.
Kinda. He describes her the way that a dude who is not supposed to be describing a woman would describe a woman. Does that make sense?
No.
It would be like a judge trying to be like, describe the transcriptionist to us. And if she was in like a low-cut shirt and a titty hanging out, and he was kind of half slobbering, and he's like, her clothes are more revealing than yours, Judge. Also, her chest is more exposed than yours is. Her sweet thighs. I mean, her legs are out. Judge, I can't see your shoes, but I assume they're not a 7-inch heel.
That's not how he talks about Diana.
That's kind of what it was.
No.
When she pops up the first time it is, when she shapeshifts. He's like, her shirt was much more low cut and more revealing than everybody else's.
Than the Henry that she just was.
Well, he brings up, compared to the style of the other people there, her clothes are much more, to be fair, it's a little sluttier, is basically what he says. He's like, she's dressed a little more promiscuously than everyone else here.
Okay, I'm following now. That's a little better than the route that I thought you were going.
I have no problem with this dude at all.
So she shakes his hand. He has blood.
He has blood.
Silver blood. Does she cut her hand too? And that's how it cross-contaminates?
First of all, yeah, that's how you do like a blood pact. You mix your blood together.
But she assumes later that only she can do this, which she can. But at the time, it was like, why would you assume he can't do it? Have the blood dreams. Or some type of knowledge and information on you by crossing blood.
I don't know that it occurred to her. And again, she doesn't seem really concerned with what his limitations are. She actually knows almost nothing about him.
And she doesn't seem to care to want to learn anything more about him.
Which seems like a wild move.
Because he's taken notes about her.
Because he's somewhat concerned with strategy. She's like, no, we're going to talk to my witch friend and I'll make a promise. He'll be fine. Pinky promises are an important thing.
So chapter 17 ended with her blood deal. Chapter 18, this is Liam's POV. He's asking Diana questions about her intel. Liam reflects on feeling nothing for Logan almost dying. Alistair is gone, so now all of his puppets are dead too.
Which was a great play for her to earn trust to a certain extent.
Yeah, because she knew all of them.
Yeah, she was like, they're like, how do we know you're telling the truth? She's like, oh, you're going to find this guy dead, that guy dead, this guy dead, that guy dead, this guy dead, that guy dead. And those were Alistair's people. There may be more, but those are just the ones that I know about. And I'm like, God damn, that was a good play, actually. I don't know. I like that. Also, Alistair was fucking busy. That dude was in there just mixing minds. Like, wild.
Well, I think it would be very difficult to control that many people. Do they just go about their regular day until he needs them?
Yeah, I like to think of it almost like them just being hypnotized, where he would hypnotize them so he mushes up their brain a bit. And then he's like, all right, so you just pretend like everything's normal. You just keep acting the way you're acting until I buzz you in, and then I'm taking over. And I think that's how it was working.
So they all die. She also tells Liam about Kaden, who he knew nothing of. He didn't even know of Kaden's existence. And she calls him the king of the other world. Liam denies the other world even existing.
And let alone there is no king. He's like, I am the king.
Yeah.
Not him. You see why I think king is an absurd title? Like, there's 2 kings in this whole situation already. And one of them, there's king of the vampires. There's like 7 kings.
Okay, you're making your point.
Lots of kings.
Liam learns about the word fucking
I don't know how he wouldn't get that from 3 minutes in the YouTube comments on the videos that he's watching. I don't know what they're showing him. I think they got him logged into kids' YouTube. He's like, can you explain this in Cocomelon terms, please?
Stop.
She's like, what have you learned? He's like, I don't know, but baby shark doo 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 doo. That'd be great.
Well, yeah, after learning this, Liam asks if Tobias and Alistair were her and Kaden's children.
Which I honestly thought was really cute. He's like, oh, did you have to kill your son? She's like, what? No. He's like, listen, we're a very forward progressive society. If you need to do some post-birth abortion on him, we get it.
He was so clueless, and yet, I don't know.
He took one look at those hips and said, possibly.
Those look like your children.
Those do look like a liar's hip. Yeah.
No.
Never mind.
Oh, those hips don't lie.
It's okay. It wasn't a good joke, but the fact that it didn't land actually made it better.
He learns that Kaden wants the Book of Azrael, and then that's when we see the memory of Azrael grabbing the books. He forged the rings that they all use. He's abandoning his guard because he will have a child soon.
Wait, he's a blacksmith / scribe?
Yeah.
Azrael does sound pretty fucking cool.
Well, I wonder if it's less about he's a scribe and that these books are blueprints.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. I like that.
Yeah, I bet that these are more blueprints and he is the blacksmith of the world of gods. I don't know.
No, I'm on board with this.
Then it cuts back to him and Diana. He picks her up while she's cuffed, and then I have like a little side-eye smirk because I'm like, yeah.
Wait, she's cuffed again?
She's been cuffed, and he like picks her up. This is like a Shrek and Fiona moment is what it was.
That's what your side-eye was?
Yeah.
Logan's donkey?
But he like picks her up and she's just like kicking and screaming like, put me down. He's like, no, I can't trust you. And yeah, it was definitely
Get in my swamp prison. He's just hauling her off. I fucking love it. He's got calloused hands. Could be Shrek.
Is Liam Shrek?
He's very big. People don't have clothes that fit him.
And then he goes and locks her up, and he is headed to go see her sister.
Yeah, and she's like, take me with you. And he's like, no, fuck off. You belong here. I'll take care of her. And I don't understand why he thought this was the right idea. He wouldn't need to take her, but maybe take somebody that does understand the world you're in a little bit.
Again, he enters every situation like he is going to survive. No doubt in his mind, everywhere he goes, he will succeed.
He and her are the same.
Yes, she is very similar. Even when locked up, she's like, but I'm not actually locked up.
Right, like she was. But then she's like, all I need to do is break my thumbs, bust out of the handcuffs. I'm like, first of all, what kind of shitty handcuffs? They're using like regular handcuffs like what we use instead of full-on wrist cuffs.
I think they are like regular cuffs. Like, I don't know how to describe it.
Mechanically?
Yes,
yeah.
But they also have some type of magic to them that dulls her power.
Yes, I do agree with that.
And I wonder if they're just like, you assume that you can't escape them because your powers are dulled. You're obviously cuffed. She's like, but I can break myself.
Yeah, which is a great plan. Don't get me wrong. You can escape regular handcuffs now if you just are willing to break your thumbs.
She does seem like the type of crazy that would cut off her hand to escape and then it regrows.
Yo, you think it regrows? Well,
she does.
Could. She shapeshifts.
Remember, he chopped off her arm and it just like grew back.
Oh, fuck, you're right. She regenerates. Huh.
I think if she had the tools, she would have chopped it off.
I think it would have been easier. Yeah, she could have chewed that fucker off.
Ew. Yeah,
No?
I guess. Yeah. I mean, if you couldn't break it first to get through it, but if they were like the type of cuffs you were describing, the options were there.
She's been decapitated and survived.
Exactly.
Yeah, I really underestimated her until just this fall.
Yeah. Chapter 19. He's trying to get to the apartment and he's stuck in his thoughts of realizing he feels depressed. I don't think he's actually come to terms with it, but he's starting to realize it as he thinks about people that he should care about when they were almost dying or did die. He didn't.
Yeah, he's got no sense of humanity, so to speak.
Someone is following him that is invisible. Exited the elevator. The elevator doors opened and closed. He feels a presence, but he didn't see anything when he was knocking on the door.
That's the shadow people.
Yes, but we see this same type of situation happen when Diana was looking for the book in that one as a beast and her tail was yanked.
You're right. I don't remember that specifically, but that sounds right. I think you've picked up on something I didn't. Good job. So I just assumed that was the conjurer coming up the elevator.
It must be these
Why
ghost
the conjurer's
people.
using the elevator? Why are ghosts using elevators?
Yeah, why don't they just go through the wall? No, they can't go through. Well, they're shadowy.
Could they not?
The sister opens the door as she stabs him, trying her best.
To be fair, it was the right play. Again, we like Gabby. Gabby's doing everything correct. I work with your sister. Well, that means this guy works for Kaden. What do? We try to stab him.
We stab the people she works with. 3 shadows are behind him, and he protects her sister. I'm assuming he shoves her in. They both get in, close the door, and now the shadowy figures are on the other side of the door.
Yeah, I don't think that he managed to get the door closed.
I don't know.
Because the shadowy figures are immediately battling him.
He battle inside the apartment.
Yeah, he just whips around and he's like, oh. And he pushes her out of the way. He murders them, keeps them safe. And then the conjurer shows up. He's like, you're the conjurer of shadows. And the conjurer's like, you're old. You're not of this world. And then that's when our girl Diana shows up and lights him up.
Well, Gabby starts being taken. I'm picturing that she's being drugged by her hair and kicking her feet. And she's being taken away as the others are fighting with Liam because his hand starts to burn. In turn, Diana's hand is starting to burn, and that's what triggers her leaving.
Diana's hand, his hand hurts because she fucking broke her thumb to get out of jail. That's what he was feeling. The fight is between he and Diana.
Yeah, he wasn't feeling it because she broke her hand. He was feeling it because Gabby's life was about to be over, which would break the deal, and he was feeling the cut.
Okay, all right.
Yes, and she could also feel the deal about to end because of Gabby's life. Yes. And she's like, I'm getting the fuck out of here.
You're 1,000% right. It made sense when we were reading it, and in hindsight, I fucked it up.
Well, he saves her. He saves Gabby. And Gabby takes the Forsaken Blade. The creatures are reforming. And I have this quote. This scene is just Liam and Gabby. He says, she is innocent, therefore she means everything.
Yes.
No way Gabby realistically would not fall in love with this man.
In that moment?
Yeah, he saved her life.
She's literally in love with Rick. It's not like she's got no one.
Yeah, but
he's just a nice guy who saved her life and said one thing, and you're ready to completely drop Rick?
Rick is still human. He hasn't even said, yes, I am ready to become immortal like you.
I think Rick hasn't been given the option, but Rick has tried to do everything. I don't know, man. I think I feel for Rick in this, and I think the fact that you're so willing to immediately drop this relationship that she's built, that she is so serious about that she wants him to become immortal.
You're right.
You're like, nope, she met this guy 3 minutes ago, he stabbed some shadows, and he said one cool catchphrase. Therefore, I'd fuck him. Like, why? I'm starting to lose a lot of faith in whatever you feel. You're a little flighty.
Well, I thought that she would fall in love or even crush on him for that phrase and how badass he is and ripped and handsome.
Yep.
She hasn't seen his dick yet.
It's your fantasy story, dude. I'm going to let you have it however you want. I looked at it like she would just appreciate not being dead.
She did. That is what happened.
I think that's the extent of what I saw here.
That's exactly what happened.
Okay.
Then the building starts to shake. He's like, is there an earthquake? Do these happen often? She's like, no, that's my sister. Badass entrance. Chapter 20, Diana's POV. Gabby's head pokes out behind Liam's massive frame.
Right.
His biceps bulged as he moved, which she is tired of handsome men, so she's just gonna poke the bear.
I don't understand. I don't get it. Also, as he's walking, his biceps are moving.
I don't know.
How the fuck is he walking?
Flexing his arms.
Just percolating as he goes. Just, excuse me, ladies. Terry Crews style.
So she's tired of these handsome men, and she's just here to piss him off.
Yeah, she's like, where are the uggos at? Bring them in.
They are going to go look for the book. His wet, white t-shirt strained over his chest and shoulders.
You can see through it, yeah. Again, this I didn't take any notes, and I don't regret it.
Well, I took notes.
I noticed. You seem confused on a lot of details, but you seem to have some of these really well hammered out. And you know what? I'm glad you're here for it.
He repaired the room back to normal, and then I have repairs future destroyed rooms, side-eye.
Which is great. My favorite part is he can do that with a snap of his fingers. Why the fuck are his hands calloused? I don't understand.
Because you need to get your hands dirty sometimes.
You know what? I've not heard of this man making toilet paper in his other world. His hands have got poop on them.
Stop.
He's gross. This is my copium. Oh my God.
He takes them both back to his place. Sister discusses.
Takes them both back.
The sister discusses the new deal with Diana. She's upset with this deal. She's like, you made another fucking deal. This is
You fucking dummy.
not gonna work.
I also like that she takes a moment and apologizes.
Her sister, Gabby?
Yep.
Yeah.
Gabby apologizes, and then Gabby also takes a moment. She's like, oh, my sister's a real fucking idiot. She keeps making these deals. No offense, Mr. God of Gods, but she's an idiot.
It's shocking to see how at home Gabby feels immediately around this new group.
Again, I think some of this could point to the fact of it's easy to think of them like they're regular people because they're not celestials or gods, but they've lived hundreds of years. There are not that many unique situations. It's not the first time her life's been in danger and she's had to be saved. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I think overall, I guess I was taking it as Gabby is perceptive, and she knew that these people are not a threat, and people that she could see herself becoming friends with and living with.
I think Gabby is like the insect lady in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, yeah. Mantis?
She's like a super empath, is how I like to think of it. Because they bring up how she's soothing. And even to Liam, he at some point in this is just like, she seems so kind. It kind of takes a load off of him, just being around her.
And they explain it away as that is her being in touch with her human side.
Yeah, versus the superpower that she inherited was being superhuman, basically.
I like it. So the sisters have a long talk. Diana admits she hasn't been happy in a long time. And Gabby asks her to be nice to Liam because he saved her and that he was really cool.
He's so cool. He takes stab wounds better than most. And I don't know if you noticed, but he likes to wear white shirts.
Is Diana locked back up when Liam requests her presence?
I think she is locked up is a strong word for it. I believe she is being allowed certain freedoms. I don't think she's chained back up in a lair.
Okay.
I think after she escaped last time, they're like, okay, fine, fuck it. We're not torturing you anymore, but you don't just have free roam.
Because for Gabby to show up and get more freedom than Diana immediately.
Gabby didn't murder a bunch of their citizens. I think Gabby should just be given freedom and Diana should be on house arrest.
Okay. Well,
come on, Adri.
You're right.
I don't know what's happening here. Take some notes on what's happening instead of just Liam. Give it a minute. Sam Kyle is an interesting character for sure. Let's keep our eye on the ball.
Well, my next note is about...
What was he wearing?
He apologized for how he requested her presence because she didn't like how Kaden did it.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it was good. She's like, did you just call me a beast? I was like, wait a minute, now I'm confused. It was like a you win some, you lose some moment.
I think him being introduced to Gabby reminded him to be a decent person because he really hasn't been decent to anybody since he showed back up, since before Diana showed up and fucked up everything. Even then, he was really passive aggressive with all the people. He was kind of an asshole. And then Gabby's just like, hey, I'm sorry for what she did, and I thank you for what you did. He's like, I should start being nice too, maybe. This isn't so bad.
I saw it as he's genuinely nice and trying to extend that to her, but he is so depressed and he has no feelings for even the people that he should care about. And that Diana is slowly cracking through this barrier.
Potentially, that's probably right. I think I just looked at him like, man, this is just nice. everybody be nice to each other. I don't know. I just really enjoyed the kindness. And then where she's like, I don't like it because Kaden used to summon me like that. It's bullshit, blah, blah, blah. And she clearly has some trauma associated, but also her willingness to be a prick to this guy.
Yeah.
Versus her willingness to even stand up for herself with Kaden is so odd to me. Because you know this dude could just take you the fuck out, but she knows he's not going to.
Yes.
I think that must be it. But her belief in that is pretty fucking strong.
I also wonder if it's because she knows she has information he doesn't have, so she can be a prick to him, and he can't do anything to her because he needs her alive.
Yeah, but I think even just the threat of violence in general, like now, he has her sister, which is kind of the card that Kaden held the whole time, is he knew of where her sister was. She could have been used at any point.
Yes, but this time he has to keep her safe.
I think she fully believes that Liam, I keep wanting to call him Sam Gael again, because for whatever reason, that's so much more fun to say. But I do think that she knows Liam is a better individual than Kaden.
Yeah,
in her heart, she believes that he's the good guy, even though she kind of keeps not acknowledging it. Yeah,
I think she's also breaking down, she's deconstructing from the cult she was in.
Ooh. Do you think she was ever really a part of that cult?
Yes. Because she believed a lot of the lies that Kaden said to her.
To be fair, I think the Celestials are also garbage.
Yes, I think so.
And the humans. I am kind of at the point where I actually think that everybody sucks except Gabby.
Yeah.
And maybe Rick with his big old dick.
Chapter 21, Diana's POV. She's talking with her sister about who to trust. Gabby trusts these Celestials and Liam, but Diana says don't, and she's looking for cameras. And she doesn't trust Liam. She doesn't trust anyone. And I took this as a conversation of showing that Diana has a lot of trauma from Kaden.
Diana's smart, to be fair. She was literally kept in a dungeon until a day and a half ago. Tortured for weeks, barely kept alive. The correct thing to assume is that they would probably be keeping an eye on you.
Yeah.
But I like that Gabby's like, why would they need cameras? They have super hearing and magic. You fucking idiot.
And her answer seemed to just be, well, Kaden did. And Kaden has eyes and ears everywhere. Chapter 22, back to Diana's POV. She's in a 12-room convoy. What is that?
She's in a what?
A 12-room convoy.
So a convoy is like a group of things moving generally. I envision it like trucks. Like, okay, there's a song that really explains it. Will you please go to Spotify for me?
Okay.
I want you to look up the song Convoy by C.W. McCall, if I remember correctly.
I think I know the song. Does this have something to do with rubber ducks?
10-4 is the rubber duck.
Yes, it does.
All right, so we're going to listen to it real quick.
I thought it was going to be like a train, like those...
Trains don't run in convoys.
No, I know they don't run in convoys, but they do have multiple rooms.
Yes, those are called cars.
Yeah, I don't know.
I like where your head's at. I think a convoy is a group of individuals going the same direction as a group.
Yeah.
Is the way I take it.
I
don't know what a 12-room convoy would be, other than perhaps it's just a wing that has 12 rooms.
I was really hoping that you were paying attention in this chapter.
Well, I may have been. Is that the only thing they said in this chapter?
Get out of here.
I may have got something else from it.
Well, she's in one of these rooms with Liam, and she's antagonizing Liam, and they don't want to be near each other. Side eye. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. I'm just taking her to word at this point.
No, I do think that both of them don't want to be near each other, but it's like, but we don't want to be near each other.
I took it as they don't want to be near each other now. Eventually they'll want to be near each other. Yeah,
exactly. She knows he's not sleeping. He radiates power. He moves and his shirt tightens.
Jesus fuck. Okay. Yep.
Discussion of Liam, confused why Kaden would be more upset about losing his allies than his consort. That conversation happens. She's pissed that he's calling her his...
Basically queen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Liam says his past flings mean nothing. And he said Diana doesn't mean anything either.
Yeah. He didn't care about his buddy being murdered. Why would he give a fuck about this lady who murdered his buddy?
You're not wrong. I just didn't want him to say it out loud.
Well, she can keep undressing him with her eyes. And he'll just keep looking good.
But they're having this whole conversation about how much they don't like each other. And are they about to hate fuck? Because I'm confused.
I'm starting to wonder if I'm having arguments with you the wrong way. Everything seems to lead back to that for you, which has not been my experience.
It's never happened once, but it might in the book.
Okay. I'm going to write a book. It's the other end of a story. It's more realistic. She's just really mad at him. He said sorry a lot. She doesn't believe it.
At the end of their deal, he may send her to a godly prison. And she has this moment of like, oh, fuck. I may have messed up by making a deal with this man. I didn't consider that he could put me in prison.
My favorite part is she says, we didn't go over the fine print. Well, it wasn't like both of you came to this table with an idea. You brought an idea to him and specifically left it open-ended so that he would accept it. That's my favorite bit where she's like, we didn't discuss the fine print. And I'm like, you can't be shocked by this. What did you think was going to happen? You went from being his prisoner to now saying, you can do what you want with me when I'm done with this.
My life is yours.
Yeah, it's great.
They then go to Nim's apartment. I don't have the actual book, which we should probably get now. Have a book trophy. Then I can know how to spell things.
We'll get a book trophy.
They go to Nim's apartment, and I like that we now see how all this played out. While listening, why would an informant not know about what Diana did to Alistair?
Just seems like news. Well, and I believe Nim brings this up. Or the other witch lady
The
does.
next one did.
Yeah,
she did.
She's like, news travels fast in the underworld, homie. And yeah, that's exactly how that would work. Like, how would somebody not know?
But Diana tried to ease Liam's fears about this. Because I think he calls her out of like, aren't they going to know what you did? This is a really big deal. And she says no, because it would be insulting to Kaden of what I did. So he's going to try to cover it up. He is going to try to find me, yes. But he's not going to tell people what I did.
Right. And Kaden may not be the one sharing that information. It seems like the other informants would be people who would share it.
Tobias was there.
When something happens at your work, is it your boss that normally disseminates the information?
Exactly.
Or is it a group text that's running through the fucking company?
The rumors are spreading, and it's not from those involved. So Dee is interrogating Nim for Sophie's location. Nim asks where Liam is from. And all he does is smile with his devastatingly handsome smile that works so well that he got away with answering that question by just saying far away.
You have any idea what Nim was wearing?
No.
Or lack thereof?
No, I barely even got her name.
Okay. So,
yeah, she was dressed in a robe. This robe that was
lingerie.
Like, yeah, and it was like falling off of her shoulder.
It kept falling out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she was all up in Liam's business. I just wanted to see if your notes were equal opportunity or mostly Liam.
Well, I found it really funny that he is clearly so handsome that he doesn't even need to answer the questions.
He doesn't. And he also doesn't need to answer the questions because she already knows.
Exactly. So she was just asking it for
but
putting
I do
on the
like
front.
that it was like she was flirting hard with him. And at some point, Diana's just like, should I fucking leave? You guys can just fuck this out or what?
Which is really naive of Diana.
Well, especially because he knows that they're up to no good.
Exactly.
And he's like, they're full of shit. And he does his little Detective Pikachu observations. And she's like,
lying. Well, I think that goes with Sophie. So then they go to the next location. Sophie is scared of Liam. Dee wants Sophie to help with finding the book, and Liam knows she is lying. She's like, well, let me go check on her upstairs. She stops him from going upstairs and gropes his chest. She then goes up, and Sophie is on a mirror phone call and turns to Dee. Yes, Nim turned her in. So Nim and Sophie were in on it.
yes.
How did this scene play out? How did the poison and needles and all this, what happened here?
So she threw a bunch of needles, some of them stuck into Dee. And then Dee's like, this isn't going to fucking hurt me. And she's like, bitch, we've been hurting you the whole time.
Oh, right. And she had the coffee that was making her tired. It was poison.
She's been drugged and she's clearly poisoned, right? She's throwing up black shit. So it's like alcohol poisoning. She's having issues. She hits the floor and Liam's like, not to worry, I'm here. He slices off her head. Her last memory is the head rolling back to her.
Nasty.
And then she wakes up. She's having crazy dreams. She has a sex dream about Liam and some other lady.
Yeah.
That's immediately following this.
Because, in chapter 23, Diana is in complete darkness. She thinks she's dead, and then she finds that she's not on the mortal plane. And she's watching Liam and Imogen banging.
She brings up some really cool world building shit, though. Like, there's no roof on the building. And it's all stars and planets and blah, 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 which are very, very close to her, evidently, because you can see them all, and it's beautiful and nebulous. And then they're fucking. But the way that they're fucking seems like, I don't know. I got two different things about this. Because the way she describes the scene is like they're banging and it's cool. And then his buddy busts in the room and is like, hey, your dad's on his way. And he's like, cool, let him show up. And the girl's like, all right, that was fun. Thanks, bye. And they go to peace out. But then when she's retelling it to Liam, it seems more like he was just getting bee jibbers.
Yeah, I think she was trying to antagonize him a little bit with the information that she had.
Oh, God, I saw your meaty cock.
Oh, yeah, we do learn that Liam is hung.
I don't know why. We didn't learn that. We assumed it.
And we learned that it was Imogen. And now I kind of feel bad for Imogen because it seems like Imogen has been pining over Liam for a long time and being strung along.
Maybe, or maybe Imogen and Liam are similar in the fact that they're like, we have these needs. You look good, I look good. We're going to mash parts.
No, because when he was thinking about the love between Logan and Nevera, he talks about how Imogen has wanted to pursue a deeper relationship with him, and he turns her down.
It's friends with benefits, and then she wanted more, and he's like, no, we're just for fucking.
Yeah, and even when he's at his all-time low, depressed, building furniture only, not talking to anybody.
Right, when he's in his woodworking stage.
Exactly. Imogen is the only one that's really trying to get in touch with him and check in on him.
Yeah, that's true. You're right. I feel a little bad for Imogen in this one.
So yeah, if Diana moves into this partner role.
To be fair, if he's like a Norse god, why not have both?
Sure, but I don't think that's going to happen. I mean,
it wouldn't be a romance book. That's not the way these people want the romance.
It's very complicated to try to make things even and balanced between the two ladies.
They each get 6 inches of cock.
Oh my God.
It's divided in half.
Yeah.
Oh man, the real tricky part is who gets the top.
No, not more. I'm done with this imagery. His dad shows up in the dream, and his dad is even a hottie.
His dad is also much taller.
Hot, older man.
Yeah, he's a smoke show of an old dude. She's like, why can't I see his sex dreams?
But she could feel his dad's power emanating just by being in the building.
Through the dream.
Yeah, I thought it was so cool.
Way more powerful. Yep.
What do you think of this whole scene? I think it sounded like Liam missed coronation and his dad was coming in to scold him for it.
A coronation.
Whose?
But I don't know. It didn't tell us that.
But
he said, why is it a big deal? He's like, these things fucking happen. His dad's like, you're going to be king. You need to attend these things. Yeah, a coronation, I think, is just a party for somebody either getting promoted or somebody coming of age and now being considered an adult.
So this was before his dad died, before the gods' war, the old gods' war, right?
Mm-hmm.
His dad is also having headaches. What do you think of all these headaches?
I don't know, because it seems like when he eats or sleeps, it seems to kind of help. It assuages some of it for him, but
yeah, he won't eat or sleep. He's like
correct.
Avoiding
He's torturing himself is the idea.
Really?
Okay. I could be totally wrong. I'm guessing at all of this.
You're probably right. Then Liam and his dad discuss the weapon of oblivion, that there's a possible rebellion. And Liam disagreed of why there would be a rebellion. And it seems like his dad is saying it's because of your behavior.
Yeah, because you're not taking shit seriously and you're just out there dipping your cock into every celestial, blah, blah, blah. We're back to that whole conversation.
But Liam says, why not this other person? Does Liam have a sibling?
Yeah, I think so. But I think perhaps they're half siblings.
Yeah, another mom.
Right. And Liam's dad is like, no, you're the perfect blend I was looking for, not these other kids.
Yeah, it has to be you.
Or it was a daughter and maybe the right goes to the son.
I don't understand. I thought it was the youngest because he
seems like an odd way to have royalty move.
Because he said something about, and then I had you, so it has to be you.
And that's why I assume maybe it was a male-female thing.
Oh, that's probably more logical.
Well, or it could just be sexist. But
Diana has pointed out the sexism in this book multiple times.
Yeah, so far almost all the leaders we know are men.
Yeah, so it probably is a male thing. And the father chose not to resurrect Liam's mother. which tells us that is something that's possible, but there would be major consequences to it. So Liam's going to fall in love with Diana, she's going to die, and he's going to resurrect her, and there will be major consequences to it.
He's going to resurrect the sister for Diana. Dun, dun, dun.
What?
That's what I would do. I would kill off Gabby because that's the one that I would bring back. I don't know that I'd bring back Diana at this point.
Oh.
I like Diana, but...
Gabby is innocent, and therefore we're safe.
Gabby is everything.
Chapter 24 is Diana's POV. She's on her bed and she's waking up from this blood dream. She recoiled from Liam's touch when you pointed this out, and he says he'll never touch her anyways. And I'm like, yeah, you are.
Well, listen, I think he's going to, but I like that she isn't just like, oh, he's so handsome. Touch me, Mr. Riorson. You know what I mean?
But it seemed like he recognized why, too, in a moment. I can't remember.
He's not an idiot.
He said something about it, of just kind of recognizing, oh, yeah, these hands.
These hands.
Yes.
These hands have seen a lot of shit, but they're never gonna torture another girl like I did with you. This reminds me, never mind.
Okay. She then tells Liam about the blood dream. He then is like, that's not a thing. She's like, well, obviously, clearly it is because I did it and I know things about you that you didn't tell me.
Nice dick, bro. High fives him.
Liam asks if the power is transmittable.
Transmissible.
Oh.
Maybe it's transmittable. It doesn't matter. I would think transmittable would mean that she could project the things that she's getting to somebody else, as in to transmit them.
Oh.
Transmissible meaning it could be passed to him as a gift. Because she brings up like a disease and he's like, yep.
Yes, that's how I took it as, can he assume this power in some way? He asks her, if any more of these dreams come up, please tell me about them. They are in a hotel. Now Diana isn't allowed to be out of his sight anymore.
And she can't find her shoes. Where are her shoes?
I don't know. Oh, because he had somebody else dress her, so she doesn't know where her clothes are.
Yeah, it's just odd because she's like, I guess I'll have to walk around barefoot until I go get a pair of shoes. This sucks.
And she has to pinky swear, or he has to Why did they pinky swear?
I don't remember, but I do remember the importance of the pinky swear being brought up. And then the way he said, I pinky swear. And she was like, oh, that's so sweet. He said, I pinky swear in a sweet way. And I'm like, okay, I get it. Whatever.
You and me pinky swear, and it is unbreakable.
I do agree. The pinky swear is, and I think it's a pretty universal thing. The pinky swear is the most sacred of swears.
Yeah, as a kid, it wasn't that sacred, but as an adult...
You were doing it wrong. Pinky swear was fucking life or death as a child.
Not between me and my brother, unfortunately.
Really?
Yeah.
What was your guys' swear? Did you guys have one?
Well, it was the pinky swear, but it wasn't...
You guys didn't have one that mattered?
Yeah.
Oh,
it didn't actually matter that much. He was like, yeah, sure, like fingers crossed type of thing. But you and me getting together, our pinky swears, that was sacred. And
it is even among our children.
Yes.
Both of them.
I don't know about between each other.
That's true. Maybe betwixt the kids it's not as sacred, but betwixt us and the kids.
Betwixt. Get out of here. They plan to visit a dead man.
Should be easy. Can't go too far.
And that's when we learned that Drake actually wasn't killed. I don't know how she did it.
I'm excited to learn how she faked his death. And also, I think Drake's probably the only real ally that they could potentially even have.
Yes, it's somebody that Gabby trusted enough that she wanted to use him to convert Big Dick.
Rick.
Yep,
I'm here to help. Anyway, well, he was their only friend when they first got turned.
Yes, I wondered if Gabby was able to fake the death because the only reason that...
What do you think Gabby faked death?
I didn't mean that. I meant Diana. Diana faked the death by engulfing the room in flame, and that's how he got away. And then Kaden saw he's gone.
That's probably true. You think they had to fake dental records and stuff?
I don't know how they faked it because we'll need some more answers than just engulfing the room in flame. And she's holding his hands while they're talking. I don't remember why. It's some type of whatever they're talking about with these pinky swears. She's holding his hands and she mentions his calloused hands again. And that is from war.
Yeah.
I disagree.
He's got war calluses.
Yeah, I think it's from the woodworking.
Okay. I think he was yanking it.
Oh my God.
That's the wood he was working.
And a vampire prince she was supposed to have killed.
Bum, bum, bum.
Is the end of chapter 24. Chapter 25. Diana stops at a gas station. I thought this was a great scene.
I agree, actually.
It was really, really good. Really well done. It shows her charisma. She's a badass. But it was just really good and kind of played into the whole road trip
It's
vibe.
an adventure.
Yes.
Yeah. We're not just moving from one major plot point to another. There is life happening outside of our primary story. I like that.
Did you catch that the woman that she was slamming her face down, the cash register lady, is a spider?
Yeah, she brought it up. She was like, you and your fucking spiders. She's like, we're not spiders. She's like, well, I don't know. You motherfuckers are like spiders. Like, how are you not like spiders? They're like, shut the fuck up. And she's like, I smell tourists back there for lunch. Is that what we're into? And she's like, you're not innocent either. But then our boy shows up and he doesn't think anything's weird with the spider people.
They can transform back into humans, their mortal form.
Yeah, but he's super duper observant.
He's really observant, but he also kind of ignores things. He'll like get a feeling of like, anyways, I'm going to ignore that for now.
Fair. Maybe he doesn't even know that it's weird in this world.
Yeah, I think
But it seems like he values innocent people a lot. And you'd think that maybe the tourist in the back that's tied up would be somebody he would value.
Or hear their little screams muffled.
Because remember, he could hear footsteps and determine how many people were at the resort when he went to pick up Gabby. By heartbeat. I'm sorry. It was by heartbeat that he was able to identify there were 2,500 people there.
I also wonder if he is aware of what she's doing, but he doesn't care enough and wants to keep moving.
Yeah, that's probably fair.
What was Diana asking this woman about? Because it sounds like her and Liam need to go to this location that she can't get to. It's too difficult because somebody's is upset at her.
They're going to go see Drake. And as far as everything that the vampire community knows, she killed him. So I think that her trying to move freely throughout that community would be a really bad idea.
Oh, yeah. Okay. That makes sense.
And he's in hiding.
Because she needs to get in touch with this one person at a festival and call at this certain time and be here. And now she needs to kind of lie to Liam. But why lie to Liam about it?
She's from Xaden Riorson's school of thought. Therefore, just lie until things go your way. I don't understand why. There must be an actual reason, I'm sure. But it is so annoying that we get this miscommunication line trope now. Because I was really enjoying the blunt honesty of their bullshit.
Yeah, I don't know why she doesn't just tell him, like, well, for us to go find this dead man, I have to go through these hoops.
Yeah, and I think that would be totally reasonable. Other than I'm sure she believes him to just be like, fuck it. We don't need to hide. I will just tear through that community until we get to this dude.
Yeah, but she was kind of talking to Gabby about we don't trust anyone. We need to be looking out for ourselves. And I think that's why she's lying, is because she's trying to look out for herself right now.
Then it makes some sense.
Well, it was a great scene in the gas station. Liam then shows up at the door and he catches her lying, ... but only about going to the bathroom. So she thinks she got away with it.
She grabbed a bunch of snacks. What kind of snacks do you think she grabbed?
She grabbed like chips and like a Monster drink. I don't know.
Just one each?
No, she grabbed like a bunch of chips and snacks and drinks.
All right, fair. And why do we assume that Liam can't drive? He can download all his knowledge. He can do anything.
Doesn't she even kind of call him out on that? She's like, you can't drive. And he's like, why do you think I can't?
Yeah, he's like, you don't tell me what I can and cannot do. I can do fucking anything.
He's like, I bet I can figure this out.
And to be fair, I think he probably could.
Yeah.
It's 2 pedals and a steering wheel.
I think she likes driving.
Well, she brings it up when he gets her to the fancy hotel, and she's upset because it's a fancy hotel, and also he doesn't drive, so how did they get there? And she's like, therefore, you had to call an Uber. And he's like, I didn't call an Uber. I called my boy. My boy came and grabbed you, and I trust him.
Right. He's like, why would you say all those things? But yeah, I did. I called Vincent.
Yeah. Very funny. I don't trust Vincent.
Ooh, really?
Mm-hmm. We'll get into it later. Just as a little note, I'm going to leave it right here. I don't trust Vincent.
Oh, I trusted Vincent. I thought that Vincent was the version of what Liam used to be, and that we see Liam is soft on Diana.
Potentially. I think Vincent is actually up to no good. I think Vincent wants to be the ruler.
Oh, no. No, I hope not. They're in the car. At some point, they're arguing and fighting, and she calls him a bitter, mean, ugly asshole.
And she doesn't mean the ugly part, because she's always talking about how fucking not ugly he is.
And he's unfazed by it. He's like, well, I know I'm not ugly, so clearly you're just lying.
He's like, oh, you got 1 out of 4 wrong. Fuck off.
Liam finally falls asleep. She pulls out the burner phone, and she calls Gabby. And I'm in shock that she's having this whole conversation while Liam is sleeping.
Sleeping.
I'm sure Liam's just
She's
listening.
like, if gods are really asleep, their arm raises and his arm starts to go up like they do with the kids in car seats.
So silly.
Wouldn't it be fun?
Well, she's talking with Gabby, and we learn that Gabby is becoming close friends with Logan and Deborah.
How quickly this bitch makes friends, I might add.
Yeah,
Can you imagine after like a week? You've been there 1 week, and you're like, we're actually really good friends. I'm like, bitch, you barely know these people.
That's why Gabby is just so sweet. But yeah, she was like doing like facial masks with both of them.
Get murdered. This is the thing. Women are not safe in these stories. I want to point this out. Diana is a little safer because she's such an impetuous bitch. I like that about Diana a lot. That she's not forgetting where she comes from. She's still nervous about things.
Gabby is very trusting.
Yeah, which is how you get murdered. That's how you get on these Dateline shows. They're like, I don't know. He was driving around in this nice white van. He had flowers in the back and he asked me to look at him. I've known him for 3 months and he's never killed anyone that I knew of. And then they get to his yard and he's got 40 bodies buried. He's like, I've got to use this bitch for fertilizer for my flower van. I'm like, this is how it happens. Quit being trusting of these people.
Well, Gabby is also now working in... Yeah, in whatever their medical facility is. And she even kind of calls it out. Like, I like helping people, even if they heal really quickly. Like, my job is moving faster now.
Gratifying.
But it is gratifying to help others.
It turns out these people may not need me. I'll throw Band-Aids on a bitch for no reason other than the joy of the game.
And Gabby points out Liam's depression, and Dee looks over while Gabby is telling her this and notices his long eyelashes.
Yeah. Also, she nearly runs them off the road. I don't know if that actually happened, but it would have been great if that's when they get in a car accident.
She confesses to her sister about the blood dreams, and in turn, obviously, Gabby puts 2 and 2 together, like, well, if you had blood dreams, therefore you must have been nearly dying because he fed you. What the hell happened?
Yeah. Yeah, and again, Gabby, not a dummy other than trusting these people.
Now, looking at my note here versus what you said earlier about Gabby being resurrected, Gabby is making plans with Diana about their future and a vacation. Like,
don't worry, I'm not going to invite Rick. Just girls trip.
Let's
go to
trip,
Tijuana.
Hanging out, having a vacation. This is long overdue. And I'm like, oh my God, is Gabby going to die?
Well, it's the thing, because Diana's hyper-focused on the fact that she won't be able to make it. So what I would do is kill off the sister.
Yeah, because the sister is looking forward to her future. I'm like, oh shit, sister's not going to make it.
You know what I bet the Book of Azrael is?
What?
I bet the Book of Azrael is how they resurrect people. And that's why, what's-his-name wants it? He could bring back all the Igmorthans.
Whoa.
Hey.
There you go. That's a good one.
Because he's the angel of death.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That could be cool.
Wow, that's way better than my last note, because my last note for chapter 25 is they're headed to a shady motel.
Okay, so this is my favorite part. The lady's like, are you going to need it for like the whole day or just a couple hours? And then she's like, no, we're not together. And I'm like, bitch, you should be playing it off like you guys are just there to fuck. That's how you stay undercover.
Yeah.
Being honest about this shit, this is the person who you decide to divulge honesty to? Of all the people? And you're like, this hotel clerk, I don't want them getting the wrong idea thinking I'm a slut.
I don't want them to think I'm with this handsome man.
Like, I'm not a prostitute. Be like, what are you talking about? I would 100% pretend to be a prostitute. If I'm in her situation and I am literally me, I'm putting on a wig.
Yeah, because if somebody's following them, they then go to this clerk and start asking questions. Is there anyone who has showed up that seemed odd? Oh, yeah.
How about a 7-foot-tall man who speaks in sort of broken colloquialisms and a woman who's wearing a very low-cut shirt, crazy dump truck on her?
But not a prostitute. That was weird to see.
Yeah, I think that would be odd. I don't understand the stratagem she's decided to run with on this one.
Well, I'm curious to see if there's 1 or 2 beds in the room that they're going to be staying in.
There's 1 bed, and it's a twin-sized bed. And they're both enormous people, and they barely fit on it. And then people think they fuck. Instead, they just both laid down on it, and it crumbled to the ground. And then people are like, wow, they really fucked up this room. And he's like, not to worry. And he snaps his fingers, and it all goes back to normal, except for the calluses on his hands that stay there forever.
I'm assuming there's one bed they have to share.
It's shaped
cold.
like a heart and it rotates. The disco ball drops down and there's mirrors everywhere.
And it's cold in the room because it's a shitty motel.
Her nipples immediately hard. He takes notice. He's like, let me warm those. And he puts his hands on them and it's not inappropriate. But then he can't help but tweak them a little bit on the way off. Just a little magic nip tweaking on the way out. And everybody says they understand. It's like when he groped her and he's like, now we're even Stevens.
Purely professional.
She shapeshifts and she gets a bigger cock than he's got. And now he feels bad about himself. Now he's like, oh no, she shapeshifts into his dad because now she's seen him.
Ryan.
And he's like, you're a disappointment. And you got a little wiener. And then she just waggles his horse cock at him. Like, do you want to get hosed down again? That's what I imagine is going to happen. Here's the crazy thing. I find myself hating on so many parts of this book. The reality is I'm so fucking excited to listen to the next chapters. I listened to this set of chapters like 3 times.
I like moving through the chapters this fast now.
It is good. I barely stopped at 25.
We are doing it in quarters now by doing it monthly.
So you kind of skipped over the sex scene more than I thought you would, actually.
What sex scene?
Chapter 24.
Yeah, between Liam and Imogen.
Yeah, because the way that thing was described, like, I was outside on my own, building a deck or something. I don't even remember what I was doing when I heard it. And I'm like, better text Adri because I know I was a couple chapters ahead of you. And I was like, I better text Adri and let her know, like, do not be listening to this one while you're in a meeting. It will distract you.
Yeah.
Because she's just like, his naked body as he was moving through the room. I honestly thought it was really funny, but I wasn't ready for that scene to happen.
No.
Because of what had just happened prior to that, it shocked the fuck out of me. Oh, I know what I was doing. I was doing siding. Because I was like, huh. And all of a sudden I'm using the saw, and then I'm like, I stopped using the saw for 5 minutes.
You really had to absorb and listen to it?
I had to listen because I was like, fuck, did I miss something? But I don't go back right away. I will go to the end of a chapter, and if I didn't understand something, I will re-listen to that chapter.
And it was jarring for her also to be in this spot.
Well, that's kind of what I wanted to point out was, as much as I come off like I'm hating on this book, to be fair, I am enjoying this book so fucking much.
I also like how she took a moment to appreciate Imogen, her smoking bod.
Oh, yeah.
And also noticing that they just got done fucking in Imogen's
They
hair.
didn't get done.
Oh, well, it doesn't matter. They were.
I don't think they got to finish because fucking Logan popped up.
But Imogen's hair is still perfect. And she's like, God damn it.
Also, I think he was doing it wrong. If her hair is still perfect.
I took it as she is otherworldly in a way that...
You saying that Poos was out of this world?
Yeah. You know how in like superhero movies, they're in these fight scenes, but the women's hair is always like perfect?
Yeah.
I pictured it kind of like that, and that is just something about being a goddess or whatever Imogen is.
Dude, as a long-haired individual, the wildest thing is watching like the first Thor movie and him never having a moment where he's like trying to get the hair out of his mouth. That's where I'm like, this is the most unrealistic part of this whole show. No, that's a good point. Imogen, I don't remember her really being described. I just remember her taking them on and being like, wow, that chick is unreal.
Exactly. She is gorgeous.
She's the Aphrodite of the story.
Yeah, exactly. And now I feel bad for Imogen if it ends up being Diana, but no, it needs to be Diana.
Still don't feel bad for Imogen. She gets to walk around like that.
Yeah,
she gets what she wants.
Exactly. Other than Liam.
Yeah, but what kind of a person would really want Liam right now? It's got to be more of a inner head thing.
Yeah.
He's so damaged and he's such a shit. Like, to not even give a shit that your buddy's dead, that's a tough road to hoe.
That's his hurdle. Getting over his depression.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's not enough for me. I want somebody to challenge him on a physical level.
I hope he and Kaden get into a fight.
Yeah, but I don't know that I want Kaden to be more powerful than Diana.
Oh, yeah.
I think for the fan service aspect of it, for me, I don't know if I'm using that term correctly. I'm probably not using that term correctly now that I think about it. But for what I would like to see, I want Diana to be more powerful than Kaden. I don't want it to have to be where he comes in and kills Kaden.
Yeah.
I don't want her to be a damsel in distress. I want her to handle her shit because she's a powerful, strong bitch.
Yep.
And then whatever his deal is, I want him to be challenged by maybe, who's the second in command guy that I don't trust?
Vincent.
Vincent. Yeah. Maybe his issue comes in with Vincent. Like maybe they've devised some way of getting the cuffs on Liam while he's sleeping, and so his power is reduced, and then they're fighting. Because I don't think you can have another character that's as powerful as he is. But if there's this many books about it, it's got to give kind of that same Rhysand energy, where for a bit you're like, oh my god, Rhysand's the most powerful motherfucker ever.
And you can't talk about other men.
Well, all I'm saying is, in these books, what tends to happen is you have this all-powerful person who's by far and away this wildly capable individual. And then somebody shows up that is even more wildly powerful or equally wildly powerful.
Well, maybe
and provides a challenge.
Maybe not equally powerful, but in a position of trust that is now betrayed, which takes their guard down.
And that's why I think Vincent would be a good one. If they somehow found a way to dampen Liam, and then Vincent's like, this is my kingdom now, motherfucker. You forsook us for a few thousand years. Eat a dick. And then he tries to kill him. And then the way that they kind of work through their shit is through this battle. And it turns out that Victor was being manipulated by Kaden. I think that would be so cool.
No, I'm hoping not. I don't think Kaden is that integrated
No,
into it.
not like mind control. Manipulated in the sense of this guy fucking sucks. We could have a whole world that's harmonious. In the same way that the Celestials are clearly trying now to have.
Yeah. Oh my.
I think that would be neat.
I love you.
I love you.
You're my bestie.
You're my bestie. Open your legs and close your books. It's over.
No.
Thank you guys for supporting us. It's been a good time. If you'd like more,
follow us here, TikTok or Instagram. Fable, if you want to join our book club. Patreon, if you want episodes early.
Dropping on Tuesdays if you're into that sort of thing.
Oh, yeah. Episodes are releasing on Tuesdays. If there's a two-parter, it's going to be on Thursdays.
We accept 5-star reviews and nothing less. If you leave something less, you're a motherfucker.
No! Honest reviews.
Not that honest. Only leave a review if you're willing to be a 5-star honest person. Should we come up with something mean to say to him on the way out? I kind of want to pick on him.
No, I won't say love you. Bye.
Oh, you can tell him that you love him.
Okay.
I won't.
Love you guys before Ryan bullies you out of here.
I'm fine with most of you. I love you, bye. No, we're a smutty podcast. The books, you're right. They may or may not be smutty. We read 3 Little Pigs, and one of them gets fucked. Get ready. It's not the one you think. Which one do you think is the sluttiest pig?
None of them.
I think it's the one in the brick house.
Oh, I was thinking the one with the hay.
I thought you would, and that's how I knew it. Because the twigs aren't sexy enough, the hay one's like, oh, please don't blow my house over. Yeah, no. That's sad that you would think that. It's the one in the brick house, because it's the one you wouldn't think.
This is the one that's getting paid and has money for bricks.
Whoa. First of all, this is a slutty pig, not a whore pig. This pig does it for the love of the game.